Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Candid Conversation with Coach Stacy right here on 108 Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel.
Hi.
Hey. Right here on 108 Praise Radio. It is I, Coach Stacy, right here with Candid Conversation with Coach Stacy, where we have real people, real topics, and real stories right here. We voicing the gospel today. Girl, if you don't turn that off.
I'm so sorry.
We get it in and kind of on Candid Conversation.
I got it just all over the place. I'm
That's
good
okay.
now.
That's okay.
I'm good now.
Candid Conversation. Happy Saturday, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I am Coach Stacy, certified life coach, speaker, and author, and I empower women and a few select men to dominate in their purpose. My testimony of overcoming domestic violence, cancer, and many traumatic experiences makes me passionate about helping people struggling with wanting to throw in the towel. Not only have I broken free, but I have helped many other people walk boldly and authentically into their purpose over the last 10 years as a coach. And right here on Candid Conversations, we have amazing guests who come on and share impactful stories, books, and testimonies. And I really believe that it's important to share your story. I believe that the experiences we are given are gifts. They're gifts to share with other people. So you never know who's listening and who's watching you and who needs to hear your story of overcome, to give them some hope, or your story of expertise to give them some hope, or both, or all. You never know. You never know. Right. And today we have two amazing guests who are going to share their journey with us today. Today we're going to talk about who they are, what they do, and how they're both impacting lives. But before we get started, well, I can tell you their names. This is Miss Wendy Y. Bailey.
All right.
Hey, Wendy.
Hello.
And we got Miss Vanessa McCarroll with Eccentric Magazine.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I'm excited.
I am too.
I'm always excited.
I'm always excited too.
So, ladies and gentlemen, but before we get started, I want to give out some shout outs. I want to give a big hello to the B5. Well, 4 of the B5. I'm B5.
B5.
I'm B5.
Okay.
Bryant 5.
Okay, I like that.
I have 4 other cousins, and we call ourselves the B5. Well, I call us the B5.
You just made that up.
No, that's what we call our girls.
Okay. We'll talk about that later.
So shout out Jessica, Gina, G, and Lynette, and also a special shout out to my Aunt Cleo. Special hello to all of you who are watching. So far, I see a couple of people, so I'll shout you out. Hey, Victor, thanks for tuning in to the Candid Conversation Show. And if you are there, just give us a shout out. Let us know you're there. Say hello, that you've joined us. You're tuning in. We got a great show lined up for you today. So I also want to let you guys know, for all of you in Atlanta, I want to invite you to my grand opening launch party, August the 2nd at 6 p.m. if you are in the Atlanta area.
Awesome.
The party where it is all about you. Good food, good fun.
Good conversation.
Yes, come on out and join us for the ICU Coaching Academy experience. The only party I know that will change your life. So we got limited tickets on sale right now. So Eventbrite ICU Experience. For more information, hit me up, 404-947-3612. That's not my number for you trollers.
That is not how you get in touch with her. Okay.
Yeah, you can get in touch with me.
Okay, well, you can, yeah.
Just not
you could.
after hours,
After
after business hours.
Right.
No,
It ain't gonna happen.
don't try it.
Right. Right.
But for more information, give me a call, or you can email me at info@icucoachingacademy.com. That is info@icucoachingacademy.com. So come on out, check out Coach Stacy, and celebrate with me for my grand opening launch party for my coaching academy. I'd appreciate seeing all of you lovely, wonderful, beautiful faces in the place. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce you to my 2 amazing women this morning. It's just girl talk.
I'm off of that.
You off of that girl talk, Vanessa? For girl talk, Miss Wendy Wise?
Oh, wait.
Miss Wendy Wise, she keep me right on that business, boy. I tell you, boy. I first want to introduce Miss Vanessa Carroll. She is the founder of and owner of Eccentric Magazine. She's the co-host of It's Bigger Than Hip Hop and the co-host of The Michael Henderson Show. She was born in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. She is the third child of 7 brothers and sisters. All these kids, honey, Lord Jesus.
But that's on my mom's side, though. I haven't talked to my dad's side. So.
Oh, it's more.
It's
more.
It's more.
There's more. Woo. That's a lot. Well, I got 5 myself.
Yeah.
And I know they eat me out of house and a home. Just if I had 7.
Yeah. It's a lot.
2 more miles.
2 more miles. Yeah,
Woo,
2 more
Lord,
headaches.
that's just a couple more dollars.
And 2 more headaches. Yeah, 2 more headaches on top of that.
She just relocated here from Dallas, Texas, to work for a major advertising firm. And after years of corporate America, she knew she wanted to run her own business. And then Eccentrics magazine was birthed.
Yes,
and
it was.
she's watched and listened, as, for years to talented artists and musicians from Atlanta and Texas and Oklahoma as they were turned away and dissuaded on, many of their opportunities. As a matter of fact, I want to connect you with one of the guys who's on right now.
Okay.
Victor, give me a shout out after the show. He has an artist that.
Nice.
Independent artist that you could probably assist with some things.
Okay,
but,
perfect.
She assists with, those who were dissuaded of many opportunities to showcase their countless capabilities. So we're going to talk about Eccentrics magazine. Oh, I can't leave this part out. She has 4 amazing children and 6 grandchildren.
Okay, now I have 6.5. Have one on the way.
Really?
6.5.
The
Yeah.
6.5.
6.5. Yeah.
He or she is cooking.
It is a he.
Oh, it's a he.
It's
You know
going to
already.
be, yeah, we did a gender reveal last weekend. They Skyped me in
Very cool.
and they did a gender
That's
reveal
amazing.
for my birthday. So.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
going to have 7 grandchildren.
7. I will have 5 boys and 2 girls.
Mm.
Yeah, interesting.
Very interesting.
Yes. So-
Grandma.
I know, I am. Well, maybe I'm more like Nana. See, I'm
Nana.
I'm Nana.
I know, right?
I'm Nana. You
I'm
know.
Glam.
I'm okay with being No, I didn't say like glam or see. I don't want to do all that. I'm just Nana.
Yes.
I'm just
yes. Okay, so she's Eccentrics magazine is now here in Atlanta. So
Yes.
you independent artists out there listening, we got you.
We
We
got
got you. Holla at us. Holla at us.
Holla at me.
But we're gonna talk a little bit more later,
Okay.
and get some some good candid conversation out of you.
Yes, okay.
I'm gonna introduce Miss Wendy Y. Bailey real quick. Hello. Hey, Miss Wendy Y. audience. How y'all doing out there? Hey. I want to welcome Miss Wendy Y. Bailey to my dear sister. I want to welcome her to the show. She is called a force of nature, and that is so true. And a trendsetter in the coaching industry because of her fearless approach to innovation. She has been a supporting CEO, entrepreneur leaders. She supports coaches, speakers, trainers, consultants. She's done all of this for more than 16 years. She's an international best-selling author, sought-after business coach and sales speaker for her fierce and dynamic dedication to inspiring individuals, groups, and organizations to create extraordinary results. Affectionately called Wendy Y. She's really called Wendy Y for real.
Wendy Y.
Wendy
Yeah,
Y.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Wendy
Right.
Y.
That's what we
Wendy
do.
Y. By her clients, her business associates, colleagues, and friends, she is internationally known thought leader who has made a global impact in the world of coaching as an innovative CEO and mentor. And I feel honored to call her friend. Yes. She is the chief visionary of Beyond Limits Live Movement, a group focused on moving its members to abundance via mindset mastery, marketing messaging, and sales scripting. She has been a featured expert in Black enterprise and on various other radio programs and media outlets. So please join me in welcoming your income acceleration mentor, Miss Wendy Y. Bailey.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Glad to be here.
I'm
Thanks for
glad
the
you're
opportunity.
here. You're
Absolutely.
welcome. Thank you. I'm
Yes.
honored that you guys are here. Whew, they both have done such notable works and they are impacting lives, and I am so very proud to have them on this morning for just a little girl talk to find out a little bit about them and how they can help you out there. What inspired me both to have both of these women on at the same time is the spirit to fight through no matter what. As you heard, Miss Wendy Y, she's been in business well over 16 years. She's just relocating and getting her magazine off the ground here in Atlanta, and just the spirit to fight through is just amazing. in this time, because we women, we juggle with so many things.
Right, exactly.
Beyond the realm of normal. We juggle with a lot. And not only do we take care of home, we are running very successful businesses. Woohoo!
Yes, and that's a lot of work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like having a second job.
It is.
No pun to the amazing men out there
But y'all guys work hard, too.
doing it. But women are kicking butt these days.
Yes, we really are.
Yes, we are. Shout out to you, Courtney. You're an amazing producer.
He's like, huh?
See, Rodney's not me. Corey, Courtney's not even focused over here.
Did I say something? So let's get right into it. So, my dear Vanessa.
Yes.
Every red carpet I attend, you there. I see you in the place. You and your photographer, y'all just grinding.
I do have to give a shout out to him. Joseph Bullock. He definitely has been very instrumental in helping me, pursue my dream. And, I drive him crazy.
I'm sure.
Yeah, because I'm like, we need to be here. Do this.
And you are everywhere.
So, yeah, he definitely be like, but he does it. So thank you, Joseph, if I haven't said that lately. So thank you.
Shout out.
Networking was really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was really important to being new in a city,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really important for me to try to bring some leverage, like connect with the right people. And I did some wrong people too, but I did have,
It happens.
Yeah, it happened. But it was a learning experience. It taught me really fast how to let things go and keep moving on and don't let things hold me back.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate Atlanta before they really have embraced me. They really have just, when I say I need something, like you, myself, you're like, I know how to do this. I'm a network to this person and this person. So I was been very blessed in that aspect.
Amazing. I see you supporting the many independent artists out there.
Yes, I do. Not only just independent artists, I do producers, filmmakers, writers, authors, any aspect of entertainment. I try to give them a forum where they get the opportunity to talk about what they do, because it takes all these people behind the scenes to make that celebrity. We need filmmakers, we need writers, we have producers, and they really don't have a forum that we talk to them about.
That's right.
They don't get a chance to tell their stories, and their stories are amazing, and how they got and how they grind and how they they did everything they had to do. So
amazing.
that's what I love about it.
What moved you to start a whole magazine?
I used to sing. And I was always in studios.
Oh, now y'all know people that tell me they sing. I be trying to get a little bit on the show now.
I used to sing, and I was in studios all the time, and I would see all these amazing artists. So I said, I'm really bashful. So I didn't really like all the cameras and all the craziness that go behind it and people fussing over what you do. So I would ask artists all the time, I said, if you could make it, what would you want to do? They would say, I want to sign with a label and I want to be on the cover of a magazine. Well, I wasn't a label, but I'm like, I can create a magazine. And so I researched about 5 years, like, how do I make this different, in the industry of technology? Print copies are just not selling. People don't buy print copies anymore.
They're not doing that anymore.
So I had to get innovative, and then start saying, okay, we're going to use the technology to my advantage. And I just started with, finding artists. And literally, the crazy, funny story is I was working for an advertising firm in Dallas, and I had 13 employees that worked there working on my magazine behind the scenes. And everyone's like, how did you get 13 people from your job to work on your stuff? But it was because they had 9-to-5s, but they wanted to be writers, or they wanted to be photographers. And
so
I gave them that
platform.
So that's how my first issue started to come out from doing that. So
amazing.
Yeah, my job wasn't happy with that, but
amazing.
That's what happened.
Well, most of them aren't, but
and it just gave me the drive to keep doing it. But Dallas is a hard market. It's a very hard market, definitely for Black women and entrepreneurs. It's not a lot of us out there, really. It's a lot of struggle. So it wasn't a lot of entertainment or passion. So Atlanta was where I wanted to be from, like, when I was married. I wanted to move to Atlanta, and I waited to raise my kids, to get them all out, and I said, I'm moving. I just packed up and left. Just packed up.
Just did it.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It didn't
to
know
just
so.
get up and just do it in no man's land.
And it was scary. It wasn't really, I wasn't scared forte, but I was really kind of uneasy, like, what am I doing? You know, like, is this going to work? And, you know, and I went through some bumps during the first couple, years when I was here, but it definitely was worth every bit of it.
Awesome. How long have you been here now, Vanessa?
Almost 3 years. It'll be almost 3 years.
So
Almost
you're
3
sort of you're not like climbing a steep ramp anymore. You're almost leveling off.
Oh, yeah.
You've gotten used to the political climate.
Yes.
The
Yes.
people and the differences and all that.
Yes, and what to do and what not to do.
Right.
What shows, you kind of start balancing out. In the beginning, I was just going wherever, like whatever I could do, and, out of the 100 people, I may get 2, so that's really how I started it. And this past year has been amazing. It's just been absolutely amazing because I've met some amazing women that just really got behind me and was like, what do you need us to do?
That's the beauty of entrepreneurship in a lot of ways, Stacey.
It is.
We as women really do believe in supporting each other. I've been in this industry and in this business more than 16 years, and what I see consistently is other women wanting to see women win.
That's right.
So we really get behind
One another.
Each other.
And I love that because it hasn't always been that way.
That's true.
I came from a corporate environment, and for me, it wasn't necessarily like that in corporate America.
Right, it's not.
So to be in the entrepreneurial space where every time I looked around, somebody was saying, "Can I do anything to help you? Do you need some support?"
Like,
in this?
huh?
It was
Like what?
refreshing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you mean I can be like that too now and not worry that
Yeah.
somebody's going to take advantage of me? That's a blessing.
That's right.
So,
That's
yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. So, what do you have coming up next on the horizon for Eccentrics?
Okay. The goal is in September to launch the first issue here in Atlanta. I'm preparing for a launch party. Haven't got a quite date for that yet, but that's the goal, is to launch it. And I want, everybody to come out and just be supportive of it and bring my artists out. I have an amazing person on the cover that I'm looking for everyone to see. She's an amazing person. She's very... I was just like, you do all that?
What's that date again?
September. I don't have a date for the launch party. It's
Okay.
going to be in September. I just haven't pinpointed a date, but
Okay.
the release of the magazine will be in September.
Okay. So y'all tune
Very
in.
cool.
Y'all go to Eccentrics Magazine on Facebook, like it so you can get the info when it come out.
Yes, definitely. And if you need ad space or, anything, I definitely work with a lot of mom and pops. I know coming from the advertising world, advertising is one of the biggest things that they cut, and, that makes your business, though.
Right.
So I definitely want to be able to help and assist with them with any type of advertising. they may need.
Amazing. Awesome. How do we contact you, Miss Vanessa?
Woo, okay. Everything is Eccentrics Magazine. My website is eccentricsmag.com, and that's XCENTRIX mag.com. Eccentrics Magazine on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn. You name it. It's
You
all
name it, there it is.
It's there.
Eccentrics
you can definitely
Magazine.
find me. Just put in my Vanessa with an H, you'll find everything.
That's that H again.
Yeah.
But
Vanessa with an H.
But I get it.
You know?
I get it. I'm Wendy
Why?
Wise, so
I was going
totally
to say,
get it.
that's why
Right.
she liked
That's why,
that.
man, we
I was
got
like,
that.
okay,
Say,
I had to do
people
the
don't
Wendy Why.
understand. They don't be
Yeah.
understanding.
No.
But we have to be unique.
I don't, because I don't understand why people say STACEY. And STACY is right there.
Yes,
in that
yes. I get a
But,
Ben. They spell it BE, and I'm like, where'd you get the BE from?
E?
Yeah, I get a lot of
It's
BE.
okay, though. It's okay.
Couple N's, couple S's.
STACY.
No
Really?
E.
There's no E's.
No
Don't put no
E.
E in Stacey's name. She's not gonna like that.
So I'm going to turn over here and find out a little bit about Miss Wendy Why over here.
Yes, ma'am,
Yes.
Coach Stacey.
She's been in the coaching world 16 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's a long time.
That's a long
It's a
time.
very long
That's a
time.
long
And let me
time.
just say that it is not without adversity. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I'd like to say that my middle name is Resilience.
I know that's right.
I like
My
that.
middle name is Resilience because I have bounced back from some economic stuff, some big mistakes that I made, some health challenges, but I'm still
Yeah.
here. There are people who were in this industry before me that are no longer here in the industry. They have gone on to get, jobs back in the workplace. They've gone on to do network marketing, multi-level marketing kinds of things, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I love
Still
it.
thriving.
I love it, yeah.
Resilience.
But every bit of adversity, everything I've been through that has not been necessarily positive, what I've discovered are lessons.
Right.
The lessons in that.
Right.
And one of the things I say in my new book, we're going to talk about it in just a minute, is adversity truly does make you a master problem solver. Y'all can tweet that. Y'all can
that is
retweet
good. That is very
that.
tweetable. I need to write that down.
Adversity makes you a master problem solver.
Ooh, I like
I'm
that.
not talking into it enough. I'm sorry. Thank you. I turned it so it was pointed that way. So anyway, yeah, when you think of all the things that you've had to endure, rather than wallow in them and just let them consume you, you have to think, what can I get out of this? What's the thing I'm learning most from this? What can I gain? How can I apply this experience so that I don't repeat it again in the future? And how can it make me better?
I like
So
that.
resilience is totally my middle name.
Yes, it is.
Innovation is my middle name.
Well, that's
Creativity is my middle name. I
What's
got
your
a
middle
bunch
name,
of middle
Stacey?
names.
Resilience.
Resilient. Yeah.
Resilience.
Yeah, that bounce back.
That you got to.
That's one of the keys to long-term success in business, in life.
Right.
Is
I was getting ready to
resilience.
say it's
In
not even
general.
just business, because I had some life issues not too long ago, and I thought it was gonna take me out the box. You know, and I'm still here, and then everything else suffered. The business. You know,
Well, and
everything
when
else.
your health comes into question, because I've been there, different kind of health challenges, but I've been there. What happens is you have to say, what's really my chief priority?
That's right.
And
That's right.
your health has to be.
And
what you
get
learn,
focused on that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What you learn from that experience is when you didn't focus on it before, now you understand that it has to be your highest priority.
That's right.
When you're able to get back into business
That's
and
right.
do those things
That's
that you were
right.
doing before.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Health has to be number one, because without it, you don't have anything else.
That's right. That's right. I know, because I went through it myself. Coaching has changed since we started. I started many years ago. I've been coaching for quite a while. For those that you that didn't know, but Miss Wendy Wise has been in the game for about 16 years plus, and things have changed. I remember when I started. I remember that it was nothing but one-on-one. I didn't know anything about the internet. Marketing yourself on the internet, ads on the internet. I didn't know anything about that.
But all
stuff.
that.
None of that. Just one-on-one. You might get on Skype.
Yeah.
Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I used to have clients, was on Skype.
That was back then.
Back then.
Back then, okay.
That's all you really could get on anyway.
Anyway, to have that face to face,
You know,
right?
have a face-to-face or whatever. I mean, it was just nothing. So when the internet came into play, I was totally lost. It took a long time to catch up.
Well, and what most people who become entrepreneurs don't know is if you're an entrepreneur, you're a salesperson. If you're an entrepreneur,
right.
you have to be an internet marketer. If you're an entrepreneur, you have to know how
Digital
to
marketing.
build business. You have to do all of that. And I think it's changed a lot since I first started, because it used to be that you could do one really cool teleseminar, not even webinar, teleseminar on the phone, invite people to it and give a little content, share an offer, and people would just buy your stuff in mass.
Right.
And because of all of the technology and because of the saturation, if you will, of people in the marketplace, what has happened is you have to be very strategic and very creative in how you market your business. It's not enough to be on social media and posting. It's not enough to just be speaking offline, like live to people. It's not enough. You've got to do a combination of some things that you're really good at, and it's got to be very strategic, the kind of messages you're sending out there. As a marketplace influencer, I know that I'm that because of the kind of messages I'm sending to the marketplace. People see me, people hear me, people know what they can expect from me because they see me on Facebook Live. They see me on YouTube. They see me on radio like this. They hear me on radio like this. They see me enough places that they get to understand what my standard is in terms of what I deliver with content. You've got to be so good that you rise above the fray, above the noise of everybody else posting on social media, everybody else live streaming, everybody else doing everything else, so that your ideal clients see you and want to connect with you. I really, really emphasize that. But it's changed a lot.
Yeah, it has.
It's changed a lot. You've got to be about relationships. Relationships are truly the currency of the 21st century. That's tweetable.
That is very tweetable.
That's something you can repost.
Did y'all hear that?
Relationships are the currency, the new currency of the 21st century. And I didn't actually say that originally. I actually borrowed it from one of my mentors, Simon T. Bailey, who's a Hall of Fame speaker. He's just an amazing guy. We're not related, even though we've never met. We call each other cousins because we share the same last name.
Okay.
But the thing that's important is building relationships. Case in point, you and I met at a luncheon. And it was funny because the week I met you at that luncheon, I saw you at a play, and then I saw you something else, and I was like, okay, now all of a sudden I'm seeing this Stacy girl. Where has she been? You know, and we just continued to talk after that and build a relationship, and here I am. Like you said, you got to come on my show. I said, okay, cool. I'm in.
That was
I mean,
when.
Yeah, it is. Relationships is the number one thing. It is. But what changes have you seen that really speak to how coaching will look like? What's going to look like in the future?
I think that coaching for the last several years has been like a buzzword. And people think if they call themselves coaches, they're more credible. And what it has done is it's hurt the industry because there are a lot of people out there who are coaching who really don't have education. They don't have skills. They are ruining some people and ruining the reputation of the industry because of it.
That's right.
So I think what you're going to see is people are going to be looking for educated coaches. They're going to be looking for coaches who are certified through particular types of organizations. They're going to be looking for expertise and client testimonials and success stories. They want to know you have a track record for helping your clients. So I think you're going to see a whole lot more of that. I see it now, but I think you're going to see it a lot more as coaching grows in the future.
I agree. I just opened my coaching academy, as you know, because I'm very passionate about coaches knowing what they're actually doing. Coaching is not consulting.
No, it's not advice.
It's not advice. Coaching is a whole different ball game, and I think that they need to be educated on that.
Without question. It's funny because more than 16 years ago when I started, people didn't understand coaching. They had not really heard of it. It wasn't as pronounced in the world as it is today. And I was constantly educating people about what I did in terms of a coach. Now I have to sort of unring the bell that some others have put out there, because of how they've tried to coach, and it wasn't really coaching. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You took me the other day. We were talking, and you said, "I can't believe my students were just knocked over by the first session I did with them." And it's because you were very clear. Coaching is not advice. It's not telling people what to do. It's not counseling. It's not therapy. It's not all of that. And I was like, it's because they don't know. They thought coaching was something totally different, and you've just educated them.
Yeah, it's amazing that you'll see it. You'll see it.
Change.
You published your first book in 2016. Now you've been in business. 2017. You've been in business 16 plus years. What took you so long to write a book?
Yeah, girl, let me just tell
you.
It really is.
It's a journey.
It really is.
Yes.
And writing that book was like giving birth. And for the first 2 years I was in business, I did well, but I was scared of everything. I was scared to fail. I was scared to succeed. I was scared that somebody called me. I was scared to call somebody. I was afraid of everything. And it wasn't until I had my own personal breakthrough that I started to say, wait a minute. I can do this, and I can do it in a different way than I thought, and I don't have to live in fear. I did some training specifically on fearless living, which changed my life. It rocked my world and put me on a course where I was clear about what I wanted to do. Mistakes, missteps, economics got in the way of the first book. But in 2016, I had the great fortune to meet one of the top 5 global thought leaders in the world, the #1 executive coach in the world, 15-time New York Times bestselling author, Dr. Marshall Goldsmith. And I met him, and I had a session with him, and we were talking, and I had planned to talk to him about something. I had made my little list of things I was going to talk to him about.
As we do.
Yeah, and he was like, bump all of that. This is what I want to know. Do you know your mission? I was like, no, I don't
What's that?
But he was like, no, you need to be able to say that without any hesitation. And he said, after talking to me for a few minutes, you need a brand book. And I was like, brand book? Yeah, you need a book that tells people what your brand is all about. And it was so cool to me that he said that, because I walked away and I said, you know what? I'm working on a book right now, but I kind of need to put that one to the side. And I need to focus on this brand book. And in 2016, I had done like 22 webinars and master classes leading up to an event that I was doing. And so what I did for the first book was I pulled the scripts from 7 of those and created my book, and then wrote around it. And it made writing the book really easy. It was still like giving birth. It was still hard. It was challenging. There was stuff I had to deal with, but it worked for me. And, you know, of course, it became an international bestseller, so I'm pleased about that.
And that's
awesome.
7 powerful practices for creating a highly profitable business, correct?
Business Beyond Limits. 7 powerful practices for creating a highly profitable business.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Can't leave off the first
No, can't leave that off.
Can't leave that one first part.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
That's amazing. I love that.
I like this.
I do. I mean, it's enlightening.
It is.
Especially when it comes to being new to something, and branding is a big part of what I do with my magazine. So, branding my name is the most important. So, hearing her say that really, resonates with me.
Yeah. Now, I wrote the book, and I used the name Business Beyond Limits, which is also the name of my business, because I was really about knocking the door down and saying, this is my brand and this is what you need to know.
Right.
I think that you can also write a brand book, if you will, that really speaks to what you bring to the marketplace. You might have a 5-step strategy. You may have a, 7 things that you've got to include in something. And when you expand on that, all of a sudden you've got the book.
A whole book.
And one of my business besties sort of freed me from something, because I had a hard time on my very last chapter of that book. And she said, I don't know that she knew I was struggling with it, but she said, if it's 5 pages, it's still a book.
True.
Okay.
And I said,
I need to hear that today, because
I
I'm
can write 5 pages of my
I was like, okay. Because people have this notion, and I think I did, even though I never said it to anybody, that a book is so many pages. And she was like, if it's 5 pages, it's still going to be a book. You know that, right? And I was like, yeah. So it kind of released me from, this picture in my head that I had of having 100 and something pages written. I think it ended up being like 106 or something like that, but I still wanted more. And done is better than perfect. It wasn't 100 and something, whatever I had in my head, and it was a good book. So, just get it, just get it done.
Rather than quantity, you know what I'm saying? It's quality.
Just
quality
get the book done. You can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Done is better than perfect.
I like that. I do, because I do struggle with this magazine. I'm always looking for it to be perfect. I keep saying, okay, I'm going to delay this because I need it to be perfect. So you're definitely right. Just getting it done.
That helps.
See what happens.
That feeds procrastination.
It does.
Yeah.
And perfection really can steal your dreams if you let it.
Yes, it will.
Because you delay it, you procrastinate. You want it perfect, you end up damaging relationships because you want it perfect.
You want it perfect.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff.
Yep.
All kinds of stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I can agree. And that fear, when you was talking about fear, that was probably one of my biggest faults right now, is that fear and faith. Right now, I'm going, okay, if you just do it, let's see what happens.
Get it done. That's right.
And then I'm like, but what if this happens? I live in that what if. What if. So, and I'm learning to just get past that now. I'm like, I'm just doing it. Whatever happens, happens.
Good for
I'm just
you.
gonna jump out there.
Good for you.
If I have one person at my launch party of 20, if it doesn't matter, I'm just
Hey,
do it,
I'm gonna be there if don't nobody else be there.
At least 2.
I'm talking about my own.
We got to do yours
Don't be
first.
yours too, but I'm just
Exactly.
saying, if I'm the only one there,
then
I'm
that's
jumping.
just what it is. Yeah, and I think that fear.
I would love to have more, but I mean, I
you never know.
I gotta face my own fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just jump out there and you do it. So that's some great information, Wendy. That really was.
Awesome.
It
Thank you.
is. It
Thank
is.
you. One of my favorite quotes is by, I think he was a 19th century philosopher John Burroughs, economist, philosopher. I can't remember what his job was, but he says, leap and the net will appear. It's almost like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. It's the same kind of concept. You don't know until you get out there who your support system really is. So you just got to get out there and hope that they come out of the woodwork.
You just said some things right there.
And sometimes you're supported of people you never think.
You just preached the whole sermon with
But that one
thing. Until you jump out there, you really don't realize or know who's really supporting you. And even those you thought would.
Oh, not the ones.
They're not there.
Yeah, sometimes they can't be. They don't have the capacity to be.
To go to that next level with you.
The next step. And I know I felt like I've lost people as I progressed. I kind of lost those people that I thought were my support system, were my friends. And that bothered me at first. Like, I'm like, why? But then I did have someone tell me, who's going to be with your journey is going to be the person that's going to be on your journey with you. And they're going to accept it no matter what. You do your downfalls, your ups. So then I'm like, all these new people I have in my life that are been way more supportive than people I've known for 20 years,
But it's because they don't understand it. It's not that they don't wish you well. Most of the time it's because they don't understand you. I remember going somewhere. I'm the youngest of 4, and my oldest sister, my brother is the oldest, and I have 2 older sisters. And my oldest sister and I were going to an event that was sponsored by her sorority. And we parked in the parking lot at the event, and we got out of the car, and one of her sorors got out of her car, and she said, "Oh, this is the one that I was telling you about." And to the soror, and I said, "So what did she tell you?" And she said, "Oh, well, she said you might be interested in," and I won't name the name of it, some network marketing organization. And I said, "I'm so sorry that she misled you. I have my own business. And so I'm really not interested in that. I'm officially unemployable. I'm not recruitable. I wish you well." But that was a family member, and this was maybe 6 years ago. So 10 years into my business, that's what my sister still thought of me.
Wow.
And, I was okay with it because I knew how to handle it. And I understood that it wasn't my sister that was naysaying me in some way. She just doesn't get it. She's a lifetime employee kind of person. And, she's a production shop kind of job person, meaning that you have to count whatever you're doing, and there's a drive to efficiency in how you handle your work, and you're timed on it, and you're measured on it, and all of that kind of stuff. When you work for an insurance company, they're tracking everything that you everything. Right. So she doesn't get it. Like, she doesn't know that why I'm taking a nap in the middle of the day. It's because I can. It's my business. I'm tired. I have an opening in my schedule. I'm going to take me a nap. But they don't get it. So I don't fault her for being that way. I just recognize that's how that happens sometimes. And they don't mean to, so poo-poo your dreams. They just don't get it.
They just don't get it. Yeah. Don't understand. And I say that pretty often because a lot of people get in their feelings about it. They get hurt. They get down. I've had clients that even really didn't want to go further because they felt they had no support. Yeah. And to spin that perspective, everybody can't go with you.
Everybody
can't go with you where you're going. And not only just that, like you said, why get in your feelings about it? Because what it is you have, what it is you're doing, what it is you have to offer just may not be for them. So you got to get out there, get yourself together, and reach those who you were designed to help.
Right. And ask for help. Because once I started asking for help, it's amazing the kind of doors that open for me. You got to know the right people to ask, and you're going to get some no's, and it's okay.
That's right.
But when you venture out and you begin to do those things that you love, like I said, I mentioned Simon, my cousin, as I call him, and he calls me
Simon Gailey.
Exactly. We have never met, but Simon was somebody that I said, you know what? I had heard him on someone else's platform, and I was really motivated by what he said, and I was encouraged, and I was empowered. So I reached out and I scheduled time with him. He didn't know me from Adam, but he took the time. We met. He gave me some, support when I needed it most. You can't get support if you don't ask for it.
For support.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
don't be afraid to ask. At least have that measure of courage to ask for the support you need.
That's right.
I know we've gone all off of what
No, we did not. This is good. This is girl talk. Candid conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
good.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But I do want to make sure I get in there about your second book. That's has it launched yet?
It was released on Tuesday, the 10th of July.
Okay,
So
congratulations.
Yes.
I'm excited about that. Of course, I have your first book, but the second one I can't wait for. It's I charge for that. Mastering the Mindset for Self-Success.
Yes.
Tell us about your second book.
Well, it is a concept, as I say, whose time has come. I think there are a lot of people in the marketplace, and I talk to many of them every day, who are not charging what they truly deserve, and they're starving. You know, they're not doing well financially in their businesses, and it's because they don't understand what I refer to as the I charge for that mindset. It's a concept that I originated with a partner about 12 years ago, and you know, he and I would disagree on what kind of fees we were going to set for different programs and stuff. Either I would be higher or he would be higher, and then the other would be on the other side of it. And I charge for that became sort of our inside joke as to how we set our fees. And over the years since that time, I started using that language with my clients, and I started building the concept out in a big way. And so after seeing so many people over the years, it just became very clear to me that it was time for me to put it out there in a book. And that's what I did.
And I think so many entrepreneurs need that, especially in this. Everybody wants free.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Should I stop right there?
No, you can keep going because it's more than that. People want free. They want, you know, the family hookup. They want discounts. They want to, you know, save. Coaching, service providing, whatever you're doing in your business, coaching, speaking, consulting, training. If you're doing something as a service-based entrepreneur, it is not linear. It's not tied to hours. It's not tied to, it's tied to a result that you help the client achieve. It's tied to that result. That result, believe it or not, is really priceless.
It is.
It's totally priceless. The whole point of I charge for that is knowing that you have value in the marketplace.
That's right.
And what you offer and bring to the marketplace has value. So that you can articulate it, the ideal client sees it, and they buy from you paying premium dollar to hire you. That's the whole concept of the I charge for that mindset. It's not about saying those words. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, those are really great. I'm going to start telling people I charge for that. Well, you don't have to say those words. You need to understand the spirit of those words.
That's right.
So that when you say it's X number of dollars, or it's this is what you're going to get when you pay this, people go, okay, no problem. Where do I sign? What credit card can I use? Where do I send my check?
And I think it's also speaking to the fearful entrepreneur who is afraid to charge for their services. Because it's a lot of that's where I was going with it. It's a lot of them that are afraid to charge for their services.
Say I have places.
And that is a whole mindset in itself.
It totally is. I was traveling several weeks ago now, and I met with a colleague for dinner. And she said, we had met a couple of years ago at an event. We were both learners, if you will, at that event. And she said to me, you know, I'm doing a whole lot of stuff and I'm enjoying it. I've got my book. It was a bestseller. But, you know, I'm doing a whole lot of stuff and I'm still doing it for free. So how do you get out of that? And I said one little thing to her, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. I know I'm like giving y'all some stuff, but it's okay.
I got
more stuff to give you
if
too.
You logged off of here, you might want to get back on and really listen, because she done gave some good nuggets for you entrepreneurs out there, though.
So what I said to her is you're talking to people about your cancer journey. You're talking to them about how you've overcome the adversity of the health challenges, and you know, she holds a doctorate degree and everything. And I said, now it's time for you to say, let me show you how. 5 words. And she was like, is that all it takes?
That's
all it takes. Let me show you how. Because all of a sudden that puts you in the position of being an expert who they can learn from and
That's
who they
right.
can invest in themselves by hiring you.
That's right.
That's part of the whole I charge for that way of thinking.
That's
Let me
right.
show you how. Let me position myself as an authority. And when I position myself as an authority, now I know what I'm doing has value, and so do you.
That's
as a
right.
potential client.
That's right. I like it. I love it.
Yeah, I do.
I love
like
it.
that.
I love it. So you guys need to get that book. I charge for that. I want you to tell everyone how they can purchase both of your books.
Awesome. I want you to mark your calendar, first of all, for Tuesday, which is the 16th? This coming Tuesday. This coming Tuesday.
It's a 6.
Today's the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th.
Okay, there we go.
It's the 17th. It's Tuesday, 17th, producer. Man. Okay.
He said
So
yes.
the 17th, which is Tuesday, I want you to mark your calendar. Everyone who buys the book on Tuesday will get the paperback and the Kindle version when you buy it on Tuesday, the 17th. That's right? Okay, awesome. You can go to ichargeforthat.com, and I'm going to make sure you get both. I'm so excited about the book, Stacey. I got to tell you.
I'm excited
This
for you.
one was easier in a way, but I actually wrote a lot of it because it came out of my head. The concepts, what I want people to know were more in my head than on paper because of the work that I've done over the last several years.
Okay. And real quick, tell about your tour, MogulCon, and your... Yeah, well, Atlanta ends the tour.
Yes, it does. So next week, I launch my first city of my national book tour for I charge for that in Raleigh, North Carolina. Woo, Raleigh! So if you're in Raleigh, North Carolina, or nearby, you're 3 hours from it. If you're in Charlotte, you're about 3.5 hours. If you're in Richmond, if you're in the area, you need to come see me. Okay. July 22nd, I kick off in Raleigh, North Carolina. For all the details, go to ichargeforthat.com and click on the link that says Meet Wendy Y on the tour. I'm going to Raleigh and Philadelphia, and I've got to get my city straight. Philadelphia, Detroit, Dallas, D.C., not in that order, Houston, and then I'm going to wind up in Los Angeles. And then I'm going to close everything out with a grand celebration right here in Atlanta on November 17th. Now, that's significant, and I remember the date so well because I'm also speaking at MogulCon, hosted by Dr. Felicia Phillips.
Yes.
I'm a speaker there. I see Coach Tawana, the LinkedIn professor, is on my live feed. We're going to be speaking at MogulCon, and I'd love for you to come out and meet me in Atlanta. If you're watching from other places, go to the website, ichargeforthat.com, buy the book on Tuesday, the 17th, and I'm going to make sure you get the Kindle and the paperback. And I might have one more goodie in there that I'm not telling you about.
All right, then.
The book signing is not just a book signing, it's also a master class event. I'm going to be delivering content. We're going to do some exercises. I'm going to have a hot seat in some cities so you get to be coached. So I definitely want you at the I Charge for That book tour.
Awesome! Listen, to both of you, before we end, what is one piece of encouragement to leave with someone who's watching and desires and aspires to get started on the road to entrepreneurship?
Wow. One of the things I would just have to say, believe in yourself. Definitely believe in your journey and do what you feel is your passion and what you want to do, and just stay motivated and encouraged and have positive people around you when you're on that journey.
That's amazing. And that's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Ms.
Mine is similar. I think that you need to walk in knowing that it's not always going to be an easy road. So when you prepare for that by sort of activating counter agents to stuff that come up, then you're all the better. And when I say counter agents, when you get scared, think of hope and things that help you to aspire to do more and believe bigger. When you think of betrayal. Say somebody does something and you're not expecting it. Make sure that you have a counter agent to that so that you can release those toxic emotions and the negative feelings you have behind the betrayal so that it doesn't hinder your own success. So activating counter agents so that you can stay the course and be here, create long-term success in your business.
I love that. I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
I like that. I like that. Okay, ladies, I want to say thank you guys for coming on today, sharing just a little piece of yourselves with me and my audience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
And thank you guys. Thank you for having.
It was an honor to have you both.
Thank you.
Hey, you independent artists out there.
Yes.
Fashion, writers, whatever you want to get your spread in the magazine, eccentrics.
And definitely, follow us on YouTube because we go on YouTube and we post all the events we go to, and there's a way they can contact us as well.
Okay.
Just go to YouTube and
Eccentrics
any
magazine.
internships. Anybody that's looking to become writers, we have an internship program that we're starting just to bring in different journalists and people that want to do what they want to do.
Awesome. Income acceleration. Miss Wendy Y. Bailey.
Yes.
Wendy, beyond don't say it. I'm gonna say it.
Don't do it, Wendy.
Businessbeyondlimits.com.
Yes. And I charge for that.
I was going there next.
Yes.
I charge for that. You make sure you want to get that if you need to accelerate your income in your business. Get rid of that. I don't charge for that mindset. Yes,
I love that.
Yes. So there we have it. As I close, I do want to leave you guys with develop your potential. Philippians 1:6 says, "He who began a good work in you will continue until the day of Jesus Christ, right up to the time of his return." Developing that good work and perfecting and bringing it to full completion of you. You guys remember before there were camera phones? You had regular cameras.
Yes.
And you either had to take it in to get your pictures developed, or you had to go into a dark room to get them developed. Just having the undeveloped film didn't do you any good. But once you got through the process of the developing, you had very beautiful pictures to share with everyone. It's the same thing with you. God has placed potential inside each and every one of you.
Yes.
But just having potential is not enough. Be willing. You got to be willing to let God work daily to bring you to spiritual maturity in him. It takes time and a willingness to let him work in your life to develop your potential. You can make a difference in the world and enjoying amazing life as you learn to be led by the Holy Spirit rather than by your own will and ways. I just want to leave with you guys. Thank God for the great work that he's doing in your life. Ask him to help you in continually cooperating with him to develop your potential and the gifts that he has placed inside of you. Amen? Amen. So sometimes God answers your prayers, and because it didn't come the way you thought it should, you totally miss out on your blessing. For your thoughts are not his thoughts, neither are your ways his ways. Just allow God to develop you. Stop throwing away his gifts and presents because it didn't come in the package you thought it should. So as I leave you today, develop your potential. You have been listening and watching Candid Conversation with Coach Stacy, where we have real people, real topics, and real stories. Right here on 108 Praise Radio, where we voice the gospel. And we will see you next week right here. Candid Conversation. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.